Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning for Sunday Dharma service. Very often when we start this service, we point to outside, to the beauty that we see outside these windows. No matter what, it's always beautiful out here. Or we point to the beauty inside, to all of you, which is also breathtakingly beautiful. But we practice to uncover the unknowable, the unmeasurable, the unsurpassed beauty. And that's a beauty that just is innate to us. So, but that journey begins with our sincere and dedication in our practice. So let us practice with that zeal today. And we'll begin that practice with Remy, who's going to give a moving meditation. We'll also do, as we do every Sunday, our bows to Dharmakaya Buddha, or 4 bows. And we'll have seated meditation. And we will chant the One Song Vow and the Heart Sutra. And we will also be blessed by a Dharma talk given by Reverend Insik. And the title of his talk is Awakening in Practice, Living from Our True Nature. So let us all rise and begin our practice by welcoming Remy. Take a moment to find a comfortable seated position for meditation. And now we'll be guided with the method of sitting meditation by Patty. Dropping your shoulders and relaxing the body. Practice continues with chanting. Please open up your booklets to page 4 and 5 to chant the Ilwan Song Vow and Heart Sutra led by John.
One song vow. Is the realm of samadhi beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and death, transcending being, non-being, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, O beings and laws, the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened masters, enlightened people, and sentient beings in one manifest as both permanence and impermanence, viewed as permanence till one unfolds into infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is, viewed as impermanence, till one unfolds into infinite worlds through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies. 4 forms of birth we transform through the 6 realms of existence, progressing or regressing, grace arising from harm or harm from grace. For we unawakened beings vow to practice heartedly, modeling ourselves after Ilwan Song, the Dharmakaya Buddha, cultivating our minds and bodies, deeply knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, till we attain the great empowerment of Ilwan, come one with the nature of Ilwan. Heart Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, when deeply practicing Prajnaparamita, realized that the 5 aggregates are empty, thus became free from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Emptiness is form, the same is true of sensations, perceptions, impulses, and consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are empty, they do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease in emptiness. Form, no sensations, no perceptions, no impulses, no consciousness, eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, realm of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind consciousness, ignorance nor extinction cessation of suffering. Path of wisdom, no attainment, with nothing to attain. Bodhisattva relies on Prajnaparamita, for the mind has no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist, free from delusion, dwells in nirvana. Buddhas of the past, present, and future rely on Prajnaparamita, attain supreme enlightenment. For know that Prajnaparamita is the great mantra. Great enlightening mantra is the unsurpassed and unequaled mantra, which is able to eliminate all suffering. True, not false, so proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra, which says, gone, gone, beyond, far beyond, now awaken. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha.
Let's take a moment to stretch our bodies. Raise your arms up high. Take a breath in and reach for the sky. And then release, breathing out. Let's roll the neck in one direction. And the opposite way. Lifting up the shoulders to the ears. And release. Breathe out. Let's do that one more time. Lift up again. Release. Up and release. And stretch the spine in one direction. And the other way. Now you can release your legs and make yourselves comfortable. And you can bring your palms together. We will have a Dharma talk by Reverend Insik. And the title is Awakening and Practice Living from Our True Nature. Let us greet Reverend Insik. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'd like to talk about awakening and practice. The name of this meditation hall we are sitting in is Il-Wang Hall. On the altar, you see a round circle that we call Il-Wang-Sang. This circle is a symbol of truth and the core of one Buddhist practice. In fact, it contains the essence of all of Buddhism. The foundation of our practice lies in modeling ourselves after the true nature symbolized by Il-Wang-Sang. True nature refers to the original, unchanging mind we are all inherently endowed with. It is the still, clear ground of awareness beneath all thoughts, emotions, and sensations. Just as a basketball player trained with basketball and a musician with their instrument, a spiritual practitioner must train with their true nature. That's why it is said that those who practice well never separate from their original mind. If we want to be free from suffering and attain true liberation, we must begin by awakening to this mind, what we call seeing true nature or 견성. It means recognizing what is already present. Then, how do we see our true nature? There are many ways, but today I'd like to reflect on one through scripture. Just as a finger pointing to the moon allows us to see the moon, the scriptures point us to our true nature. Both the Ilwansang vow and the Heart Sutra, which we chanted earlier, offer this guidance. The Ilwansang vow begins, Il-One is the realm of samadhi beyond words and speech. Here, Il-One refers to our true nature and the realm beyond word and speech, pointed to a state where all mental discrimination ceases. Since language is the tool of thought, going beyond the language means returning to a mind before thinking. One day, a disciple asked Master Sotaesan, our founding master, how can I realize my original nature? He answered, silently contemplate what exists before you spoke to me. This means to observe the calm, clear mind that exists before any words or judgment arise. When thoughts come to rest, we begin to see the peaceful ground of our mind. The Heart Sutra teaches, all dharmas are empty. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. This points to the emptiness of all dualistic concepts, good and bad, right and wrong. The Ilwansang vow also says, Il-One is the gate of birth and death, transcending being and non-being. Our true nature lies beyond even the ideas of existence and non-existence. It is not a thing, nor is it nothing. It is the ground from which all our activity, seeing, hearing, speaking, and thinking arises. Only when we let go of the thought of existing or non-existing can we understand our true nature. It abides in stillness and gives rise to all things. It is like a TV screen. Countless scenes appear and disappear on it, but when the power is turned off, only the screen remains. Likewise, when our discrimination stops, our true nature remains. Just as the screen was always there, regardless of what was shown on it, our true nature has always been here, constant and unchanging, even as thoughts come and go. When we realize that our true nature exists yet has no fixed form, we awaken. In that moment, we meet the truth of our own being. We recognize that we are already whole and complete. That is the foundation we should live from. The Ilwon vow says we should model ourselves after Ilwon. The Heart Sutra says that all Buddhas of past, present, and future attained awakening by relying on this ground, because their minds were free from hindrances. They were free from fear and illusion and attained nirvana. When I was a student at Yongsan in Korea, training to become a One Buddhist minister, I lived joyfully, meditating, chanting, and studying scriptures every day. After 3 years, I felt my practice had deepened, but still, I sensed something missing, a quiet thirst, an inner restlessness. This sense grew stronger, so I went to the retreat center during a school break to explore this further. On the first day, I shared my concern with the retreat director. I told him that I had never missed a day of meditation or chanting in 3 years, and had studied the scriptures so thoroughly that I had nearly memorized them. But still, something felt incomplete. He said, "It's good to practice diligently, but it's more important to practice rightly." What does it mean to practice rightly? I asked. He said, "It means to know what you are doing." So let me ask, who is the one asking this question right now? Isn't that the same one who is chanting, meditating, and studying the scripture? So, what is that? I had no words. In that moment of silence, I found my answer. It was like holding a candle while searching for something, and then a teacher comes and blows out the flame. In the sudden darkness, I stopped searching outward and finally turned inward and met the one who had been seeking all along. When nothing can be seen in darkness, what still exists? When all mental activities stop, what remains? Right now, you are listening to me, but what is that listens? There is clearly listener, but we cannot name it. To realize that listener is to awaken to your true nature. Are you aware of that listener right now? Right at this moment? If you are, then you are seeing your true nature. When you see it clearly, we say that you are awakened. But awakening is not the end. We must continue practicing so we don't lose that awareness in our daily life. As we live more and more from this ground, it becomes familiar. Practice means living from this foundation of true nature. Even as thoughts and emotions rise and fall, we continue training to dwell in this stillness underneath, right here and right now. So, how do we live from our true nature in daily life? In the Dharma verse on Ilwon-sang, Master Sotaesan said, this symbol, the one round skull, is used when we use our six sense faculties: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. This means our true nature is the subject operating through the six senses. True nature is the master. So we let it guide how we use our body and mind. But why emphasize the six senses? Because our entire experience of life happens through them, through seeing, hearing, feeling, and thinking. All joy and suffering come from how we interpret these experiences. So we must let our true nature lead how we see, hear, and respond. That means we respond with the sound thought, our original, still, and clear mind. To respond with the sound thought is to respond without discrimination. When we see something without judgment, we simply see. No attachment, no aversion. If there's a discomfort or clinging, don't avoid it. Just see without judgment. When we hear something without judgment, we simply hear. Anxieties and preconceptions fall away. If sounds trigger fear or anger, try hearing it just as it is. In those moments, the separation between subject and object disappears. When a thought arises, just observe it. It remains whole and complete on its own. Earlier, we practiced sitting meditation, but meditation is not about creating a calm or blank mind. Our principal book says, seated meditation is a practice that in the mind calms deluded thoughts and manifests the true nature. We practice because the original sound mind already exists. At the beginning of a meditation, we return to the mind before any thought arises, calm and awake. But we get distracted by drowsiness or mental chatter. So we simply notice it. When we become sleepy, we open our eyes to refresh ourselves. When a thought arises, we watch it without adding more thoughts. This is how we begin to experience mental stillness and inner freedom. But it's not always easy to release judgment amid seeing, hearing, and thinking. That's why we practice. Meditation is this very training. Over time, it gives us the strength to enter the Pure Land and even transcend life and death. But we cannot simply live by letting go all the time. We are not inanimate like stone. We need the thoughts to fulfill our responsibilities and duties. Without thinking, we can't function in the world. So we must discern what to do and not what to do. We must think clearly and act wisely. Even when driving, we need to judge when to stop and when to go. But the question is, do we think with stillness or just from our habit? When you think, is there only thought, or is there thought within silence? If there is only thought, you are caught in this discrimination. Once caught in right and wrong, good and bad, we lose freedom and create suffering for ourselves and others. But when thought arises from our true nature, it remains clear and unattached. It is not swayed by gain or loss, praise or blame, right or wrong. Such thoughts don't leave any residue in the mind. They benefit both self and others. After meditation, we chant, stress. We used our eyes to read and our mouth to recite. But was there only sound or also the still space behind the sound? Even when we chant silently in our mind, we can feel the spacious stillness from which thought arises. When we observe that quiet space before thoughts form, we see that discrimination arises, but without clinging. In Won Buddhism, we always begin with a moment of silence before action, to return to the quiet, empty mind before engaging in an activity. Otherwise, we are swept up in habitual thinking and behavior. Let me share a bit about how this looks in my own daily life. I've been working here at One Dharma Center for 7 years now. Almost every day, I live a very full and busy life. From morning until I go to bed at night, I'm often active with little time to rest. There's a volunteer named William, who visits our center regularly. He's there. Whenever I pass by him, I often say, I'm busy. So now, whenever he sees me, he smiles and says, are you busy again? It becomes our little joke. But when I say I'm busy, I actually mean two different things. The first is the obvious one. I am busy taking care of my responsibilities and trying not to fall behind on my tasks. But that's only one side of the story. The deeper meaning is this. While I go about my tasks, I try to stay centered in the still, empty mind. I stay busy making sure that this awareness stays at the heart of everything I do. This inner stillness must come first. Only then does the work go smoothly. And once it's done, there's no lingering attachment or regret. But if I move through my day without that foundation, I sometimes make mistakes. Even if the work gets done, I might find myself feeling pride or getting caught in lingering thought about it. That's why before I begin anything, I try to become like empty space, open, clear, and calm. Then I carry out each task from that place. That's kind of business I want to keep practicing. One day, a disciple asked Master Sote-san, "What kind of mind should I have at the moment of death?" He answered, "Sound thought, sound thought." Even in the face of the most fearful and lonely moment, we are told to hold on only to the still, empty mind. Why? Because everything else is impermanent. When breath stops, the body, wealth, name, and even loved ones dissolved like smoke in the air. If we clinging to them, our mind becomes stuck. We suffer. If we want to be free from suffering caused by judgment and attachment, we must awaken to our true nature, which is free from both. And right in this moment, our true nature should be leading our six senses. Stillness should be at the center of our mind. From that quiet, empty core, even when thoughts arise, they carry no cling. If we wish to let go, we can. We gain the freedom of mind. This is why we gather here in Ilwon Hall to sit in meditation, chant the Ilwonsang Vow and Heart Sutra, and reflect on the essential dharmas of daily practice, so that we may confirm that we are already complete and full, and live from that sound mind. May we all live from this place, using our six senses, without losing touch with our true nature, and become free from suffering. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Reverend Insik, for your very wise words. Maybe we can take a moment to close our eyes in lieu of his talk. And he said to recognize that which is already present. Do you recognize that nature that is already present? So now let us open our chant books once again to page 6 to read the essential dharmas of daily practice led by Jeff.
Essential dharmas of daily practice. 1. The mind is originally free from disturbance, but disturbances arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the equanimity of our true nature by letting go of disturbances. 2. The mind is originally free from delusion, but delusions arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the wisdom of our true nature by letting go of delusions. 3. The mind is originally free from wrongdoing, but wrongdoings arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the precepts of our true nature by letting go of wrongdoings. 4. Let us replace disbelief, greed, laziness, and ignorance with belief, zeal, questioning, and dedication. 5. Let us turn resentment into gratitude. 6. Let us turn dependency into self-reliance. 7. Let us turn reluctance to learn into willingness to learn well. 8. Let us turn reluctance to teach into willingness to teach well. 9. Let us turn lack of public spirit into eagerness to serve the good of all.
So I have a few announcements to make. The first one is next Sunday. We have a very special Dharma service planned, which is a celebration for our next Wanmu. Wanmu means our lay minister. So her name is Kathleen Her, and her Dharma name is Her Ju. So she's here somewhere, and I'm not sure if she's in the room, but she's here. There she is, Kathleen. Say hello. So we're really honored to have Kathleen here with us, and she comes from the North Carolina temple. So please join and celebrate with us for Kathleen's ordination. And then the second announcement is we have Labor Day weekend retreat. There's still some spots available, and that retreat is based on resilience and being unshakable in the face of adversity and challenging situations. And we have Reverend Doyan Park coming from the Manhattan Temple, and also Reverend Yu leading that retreat. So you can find information about that on the website or in the foyer. And last but not least, we are planning a music concert like we do every year, and September 28th. So save the date if you would. It's really a lovely celebration. We have outdoor music and we have potluck, and it's really fun. And if you have some music that you would like to share, please let us know. Let Reverend Ginger know. And that's it. And open up your prayer books, please. So we will sing the morning prayer song on page 9. Dhammakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day in your presence. Today, full of health and with peace of mind, may I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dhammakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day with your grace. Today, gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dhammakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day with compassion. Thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you next Sunday. And if you are in the Kyoharan, please remain in the Dharma Hall. We have a Kyoharan meeting. So if you have a Dharma name, please stay. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday.